Welcome everyone to another live Linux kernel development live stream here. The usual fun SG Octane, or in this case PS3, just what our most loyal only fans love and enjoy, share, like and subscribe the most. Case in point, Linux 5.3, yes, we keep all this stuff like MIPS, PowerPC and so on, all our lovely RISC architectures. Wait, why is it initialization of yada yada yada, not near. Yeah, we keep the stuff alive and the only constant is change and regressions. Why is set attribute copy also of mod user struct user namespace? Yeah, so the only constant is change and regressions, and that is what is called porting or rebasing. The rebasing meaning recreating, re-architecturing to another base. In this case, the base is from previous Linux kernels to 5.3. There's recurrently change APIs and ABIs. The only constant in the Linux kernel community is, since 30 years, just freaking changing it for changing it, because performance, or less performance in this case, because setter and getter helpers for less performance than just altering struct, but probably also realistically to be able to BPF that, to trace that, to have a GPL violations shield or Rust wrapper for 3D drivers. So yeah, other people also like, yeah, and it's not only P3, it's also your questionable, I wanted to say fine, it's not fine, you're not fine, questionable NVIDIA binary only drivers that I certainly don't want to have if you play along at home with, God forbid. Anyway, so yeah, binary only NVIDIA stuff. It's also, can we change this? No, we can't, so let's rebase it. Cheers. Hopefully that is not that much more. So this was pre, so this is now private, and as you see here with this change, there are now fancy setter and getters. Modify, use VM, init, reset, set clear functions. For that, I'm a great fan of just hand. I call this, I don't know, actually, maybe I should ask others also. I call this hand, because, or hand or manual, manual, tweaking freaking patch files, because I'm probably too hardcore. I should remember, for the sake of this live streams, to use syntax highlighting. The number one question, what terminal font is it? The number two question is, why don't you use syntax highlighting? Because I grew up with Turbo Pascal and Turbo Assembler. I don't remember that we had syntax highlighting. On a 386 SX25 with 2 MB memory, you did not want to have syntax highlighting. Anyway, I will try to remember to use Vim today for your viewing pleasure on your receiving devices, playing along, following along at home. So package Linux kernel, we have here a ton of P3 patches for improved game OS stuff. So that is somewhere here of that stuff, VMFlex. Let's see how many files there are. If you're lucky, only one. That is from original other OS++ patches, 0220, SPU, ISOFS. So VM, whatever. So we hopefully Linux kernel are cool. We also changed this previously. So realistically, we actually don't need freaking 3.7 whatever. So greater than this. How many did we delete? 1, 2, 3, 4. What version? Something like that. Greater 1, 2, 3, 4 is 8. Okay, this were probably all. Let's also get rid of that if we ever want to get this improvements upstream. Certainly don't need. We only support the latest and greatest, and not some decade. I mean, you have the patch if you want. Yeah. So these were 8 lines, so that makes 62. Maybe also should trash chat, not that I waste time editing this. And then this stuff. So this stuff is this kernel. I only removed this because in general upstream kernel developers don't want this, right? There's one upstream consistent source tree, and you like it's not like freaking Windows or whatever. Right? This is why they wouldn't want to have that. So they have here VM, so IO remap PFN range. So how does that work here? VMA, so we have here VM area. So they just change the flex. So VMA area struct VMA set clear. Clear flex set. Assert write locked. So yeah, normally performance. In this case, a little bit more checking, right? Helper functions, like instead of assigning some, like just some load modify register store, some function call and such and stuff. So the only constant is change and regressions and 10 times worse performance for altering some VM structs. But anyway. So VM, don't expand, don't dump VMIO. Also, there's this start to build, so we don't have a typo in there. So that should now be set, right? So this we are setting this additionally. So it hopefully is VM flex set now of this VMA, and then oh wait, why did alright, this here, and then do we have that here again? So that is cool. Also, what did I even just copy and paste? Whatever I just did. Or did I say I wanted to use Vim and then I don't? I'm so sorry. I only need NVI. Who needs Vim? It's killing performance on my Epic Threadripping Ryzen. So VM whatever. But you probably certainly enjoy that very much. VM underscore com. Here. Oops. Set flags VMA, and then we also need to test build this, obviously. All this good stuff, and that should be that. We basically can control C that already because we altered the patch file. There's most likely one more. I probably, no, we probably still have the other. Do we? Hopefully, maybe. Yeah, one of those. So probably I did this earlier there. The usual stuff you do at companies like Exactly right. So stream as usual, sponsored by my company. The usual embedded Linux high performance virtualization stuff. Of course, you keep. I mean, upstream delete because they're too expensive to maintain, but nothing like on this channel. Of course, we love our P3, pry our fat and slim PS3 out of our cold dead hands. So eval that again. So there was one more incompatible whatever thing, and that is passing argument of set attribute copy from MNT struct user space. So initialization of function pointer struct MNT ID map. So is it now, what is it, from incompatible? So they have here now MNT ID map. I mean, maybe this was always wrong. There's always, we would need to check this. It is possible that this is a new warning. So previously, so there was function pointer to int returning function pointer struct mount and ID map struct dentry struct. So the dentry is directory entry. I attribute, inode attribute or whatever from dentry struct. So maybe it is as simple as changing this from user space. Let's see how lucky we are. User MNT user namespace. Yeah, that looks probably about right. So this does inode dentry d inode set attribute copy mount user namespace. So I mean, I could test that. Maybe I should test that. It's probably relatively similar. Let's see what happens from the entry. Okay, this is that one. Copy. So either they changed the API, we could git history, check that in a second, or that exit just built accidentally. That is a new warning from MNT. So this is user namespace. It's ID map. What could possibly be wrong? I really super hate this. Why people do that? I mean, this is some, in my opinion, this is some BSD style. Like I really hate this kind of superfluous stuff with a passion. Like I'm kind of tempted to SED all this superfluous parentheses. I've seen this in BSD, like FreeBSD, NetBSD, OpenBSD, or whatever. I would not think. I mean, I'm only part-time Linux kernel developer, right? I have like real business to do to earn money, because who would pay me for Linux kernel development? But from what I'm usually seeing, that should probably not be normal style. But we like return like why freaking do you do that? But so yeah, so this build so far, this was basically just using our CPU idle time. I can also background that and build that. So this was just like basically on the fly, embarrassingly parallel compile testing to see if something super obvious from my hand edited stuff here blows up. We can, by the way, simply, so how to check that, also probably don't delay, check our amazing digital office, paperless office stuff and NT2 freaking Linux, obviously today. So the other function, we can simply ID map, we can simply set attribute copy. So either in this git, so that does this here, or this or the other. Let's see. This git search is at times a little bit picky. So that is building. Then let's. I was, so this, we have the one more tree to clean up because I was in that. Let's check if we have a build error. This make at times takes quite a while, so we can efficiently pre-check if we have already. There are still undeclared specifier expanded before what? Expected declaration specifier or before. I edited the structure way. We are not doing C++. Or did I? Yeah, structure probably deleted this structure way. Let's manually check that. A little bit efficient here with electrons struct. Oops. Just to check if that is already doing any better. Maybe it does. Let's Control C that and so whatever. That's okay. I guess that built now without warning, I would say. Otherwise, we could have grabbed. Do I have that? No, of course I don't. That was set attribute set copy. We can quickly grab the Linux kernel sources for that. like in any other, like maybe XFS, because why not? Set attribute. Yeah, so struct mnt ID map. Is it what I? Okay, they just have ID map the entry I attribute. We could. I mean, it doesn't matter how you name your local variable, but ID map. We could just. Where do they? But probably. Yeah, they have it like this. That's whatever. It doesn't matter too much. I usually. My personally, although I totally understand that, it's also a really annoying quirk of the C programming language family of C and C++, that if you have a struct inode stuff here and you have multiple variables of this type, this star is per variable name, right? So if you would need star inode 2, right? I extremely hate this, and I personally, in my code, I prefer this pointer type basically there, although if you have multiple, then this sucks a little bit, but C language design, like, because in my opinion this is, it's like, for me this star belongs more to the type, and this is a variable name, and in my opinion this is like twice as amazingly readable, but that's Linus Torvalds gets his style here. Let's however quickly check how they. Yeah, so as I expected, so this bloody braces, it's probably why some PS3 hacker probably was more familiar with BSD coding style. We could check how many. I wouldn't surprise if nonetheless there were occurrences like years. Okay, so although no, we could actually, do they ever? Okay, so other sources have that, but. Although garbage sources like ACPI is also some bloody tools just. So these are not that many, right? For the whole Linux kernel, this is like next to near through. I mean, for millions lines of code, I would say you normally, actually we could check that, right? It's like, yeah, so 188,000 to 336 or 223,142, 81 or so. So yeah, I guess that style wins. I'm surprised that Linus Torvalds does not run more like why insert is Linux code development like this outliners of strange, like probably they probably studied too much Lisp code at the university. It's because the issues, of course, it doesn't matter really. The type might change. There might be details that even I forget. Sometimes in some languages the type might change, so implicitly this is not obvious and only in strange. I'm not even sure if it's the case, but I've seen in some language construct at times where the type implicit casting rule stuff would change if you put this in parentheses. For example, even Lua, right? There was, for example, in Lua you can't, like, between a literal and string literal and stuff, like for some things I believe you might not call a function on a string literal, but if you put whatever the Lua terms for it might have been, but we digress. It's not Lua, so yeah, it's it. So we probably, I should have, in this 2 minutes of rambling, compiled the kernel. I believe that unless I made a last minute ID map typo there, struct mount ID map, and probably looks fine. Because what I then could do is modify that to architecture PowerPC, and then soon we actually I have another surprise for you. I actually spent another 5 minutes on Intel, bringing Intel i915 dedicated graphics of DG1 and ARC to other platforms, because my previous patch did not build for PowerPC 64 with 64K pages or Spark with also larger pages, 16K pages of something of that sort. Okay, what was Spark? Did I actually... i915... Oh yeah, I have that here, and so I believe that failed for Spark. So you see, there's always something to do, right? So if you want to support my ongoing work on supporting all this amazing vintage and retro RISC, Cell, game console and other SGI high-end workstation gear and all the things in between, which are many. Don't forget to like, subscribe, maybe OnlyFans or YouTube membership, because there's so much to... I mean, I could work 24/7, 24 hours a day of improving stuff, even if it's just syntax and details. I wanted to test Spark. For that, I might have disabled that when it didn't build. Did I commit this already? Transparent, huge pages. Yeah, so I disabled that there. So let's re-enable that. So this is not yet committed because I always have working copies with like small things here, like didn't build some. Also, I only moved this down here, I believe, probably. Let's DNL that because it is M4 or so. Let's Spark. What did I build? I probably built that. Because to Linux because I previously built. And let's check what page size we had there. Because we might need to add another one. PowerPC 64 default, probably as far as I've seen today, defaulted to 64 kilobyte pages for improved performance. Which we probably want to disable anyway for other reasons. But so what? Where is my Spark? Which did I? Spark 432, 32. Yeah, here it is. Not sure I was looking. So page size, was it 16K maybe? Maybe it was not 64K. Page size. 64. Why did it not build then? There was something that it doesn't build, and that's probably why we are testing that. We could, however, Control C that because today we're only building on our Ryzen 59 50X. So that is a little bit slower today. 40% slower than... Oh darn, why is it not there? Nothing like Control seeing that and losing resources. Temp fs keep on error. It probably needs to be keep source. I believe that should be 2. I recently changed that. So yeah, welcome everyone. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. Claim says there in the comments where's the kernel experience with PS3 stuff. See knowledge. Though, yeah, if you have a PS3 and you like to tinker with the stuff, there is yeah, if you want to do total level amazing stuff, then there is 3D restoration to be finished. Which eventually I hope I get to before I retire, so that might be in 25-ish years or earlier. Also, best share, like and subscribe for that. And there's also at least one known regression for this Cell SPE stuff that I experienced. I believe most tests passed, the last time I checked that, of the stuff that nobody uses apparently anymore. But the DMA test, DMA or DMA notification, whatever, at least one test, DMA notification, whatever, failed. I believe this was in libSPE or something, examples or so. So yeah, didn't have time for that yet. I believe probably in some point. It could also be that this always failed on running in GameOS. But yeah, so there's it. if you wanted to. So let's Control Z that again. Let's hope this time we get our sources. And we do, because then we can make opt-m for drivers D. Oh, right, does it not autocomplete? Oh, there probably. And then we, so GP, what we want is when we could just build 915, but in my experience it usually fails if there are some dependencies not built. Okay, there's also already one build. Oh, this also, okay, failures upon failures, but I have to go in a second. So this failed this time bug on condition declaration. So yeah, page size. Why is this page size? So yeah, it is as I expected, but what is the freaking page size then? If not, maybe 16K. Why is it not in the kconfig? Page size. Wonderful. Probably some special case whatever stuff. Grab page. Either here. Maybe it is even in. We probably want to grab for. Whatever. Where's a freaking. Page size. No, freaking page size. Page size. Define page size. Page, there is page 32 and stuff. Otherwise we need, so it could also be include, so, or maybe not. That should be in Arch. I hate when the Linux kernel, like, the Linux kernel in my opinion, as, it's like, I'm a little bit wondering that in my opinion, it could be a little bit better sorted. I mean, you could also say, like, it is sorted, but some stuff is there, somehow it's a little bit... sure, if you're the Spark maintainer and you work on that every day, but... Okay, there is Leon, where is freaking MMU page size? I want to know the freaking... Where is the freaking page size? What am I... Write size, 2 times page size, processor, define page 64H, page shifter, maybe we check page shift, would that be in the config? Nah. I mean, we could. Do I have that in here? Page. We could. Okay, this is not. Okay, fine. I900. 950. No, hello. DRM. I900. Can I have too many subdirectories? Wait, there's also some error. What ASM set memory of such file? Okay, I guess we can give up on Spark then if there is that as well. How many architectures have freaking set memory? That is a little bit annoying, right? You would think Linux kernel, like, they have the same infrastructure for all architectures, but no, it's the details are different for many. Okay, this currently limits this patchery to PowerPC, ARM, and RISC-V. So much to Spark. more. I mean, then I could hardcode that to config that and give up for that. So what's going on? All right, what did we Spark? No, which were PowerPC. What's going on here now? Kernel IO undeclared PG prod write combine. Page kernel RO. So some more stuff. So goes our precious. So much to plugging an Intel DG1 or Arc anytime into an Apple G5. That is rather sad. Yeah, this kind of stuff, it's like, why are there not more generic APIs? There's nothing else to do with this stuff here. At least we can live do a YouTube video. Here, kernel IO. So write combine, of course, combining the write combine, no cache, and all the other similar such stuff. Okay, interestingly, we have that for RISC-V, but not for ARM. So this will also fail for this will also fail for, I mean, also apparently only used in i915, right? So much to that amazing stuff. I'm surprised this is defined in, so they define kernel IO to PG prod page IO remap. So kernel IO remap. With PowerPC include ASM PG table. So we want IO remap. Okay, we don't have IO remap. Write combine. Nah. IO. There is define arch IO mirrored write combine and write through. Map bus memory into CPU space, performs specific sequence of operations to make bus memory CPU accessible via read, byte, word, long, read and write. The returned address is not created usable directly as a virtual address. Provided variants, yada yada yada. So IO remap. So how's the bloody driver using that? But yeah, also pro tip, if you want to know everything about the Linux kernel and all the nitty-gritty details of all the architectures, is like, do this as a hobby, and in no time you know all the details, like all the cryptic, annoying, complex details you never ever wanted to even freaking know about. So this is mapping memory, mapping resources, memory, and IO resources, or PCI resources, memory base address register member mapped, VRAM and other GPU or other PCIe devices. Yeah, so that's what that is about. I wish it would be a little bit more portable in a kernel supporting 30+ architectures, but of course it isn't. Driver, video, GPU, DRM, what did I have here even? GPU, DRM, IO remap. Can we do something about this without typo? Was it not IO remap? Also need what's the time I need to go? How many? Here we are, and then page kernel IO. Let's see what's the freaking heck they're doing there. So maybe they should not even use this API. I have the feeling like, I mean, obviously it's not yet fully working. It starts to work. I tested this the other day on RISC-V. IO remap. Oh, what was it even now? Oh, Kernel. Oh, what do they try to? So yeah, this stuff needs to be a little bit more portable. Gem object map page. It's the mapping part of elementary graphic objects. Pin map here. I'm again and again surprised how low-level directly open-coded this stuff usually is. PG, so x86 or actually I believe this is built for RISC-V. Oh wait, is that, which is it even, PG? What? Interesting, we have there quite some. What do we have for PowerPC in this? Right combine, so right combine, page table. Page kernel, permission masks, right. Define right combine. Okay, we actually non-cached right combine. What did we wanted? IO though. Page no cache PG prod. Okay, we have here stuff like current, write through. Let's save page write through, otherwise not cache current. It's like cache current and write through caches. I guess like no cache, something like no cache or so, or coherent probably could work. So do I have that here in the history? Of course I have. Fix files, so that was PG prod, so whatever. So I, what was page? No, is it public API? I mean, we could do here some stuff like if def page kernel. I mean, it's a little bit dirty-ish, but first I want to see it working at all before we ask Linus Torvalds how he wants to have his precious kernel stuff YOLO'd. Do we have more of this? Kernel IO. Of course we have more of that. Yeah. I mean, maybe we could first try if that even freaking works. TM. And again, I use no syntax highlighting. I'm sorry for you having to endure a colorless broadcast here. That's a little bit more than I wanted. Combine stuff. What v address or nothing? Arrow pointer. Okay, whatever. I trust those Intel developers if this makes any sense. So yeah, something like that is probably need it, maybe. Or there's more. Incompatible. Oh, this is also right. Incompatible type for argument 1 of PG provide terminal cache. Argument 1. Expression page tolerant. Right. Okay, so there is more of this stuff. What have I done there? Page tolerant. Yeah, I do this another day. I guess it is probably safer because it breaks on too many architectures. And welcome everyone. You're saying page kernel. Did I have a typo there? Could check that. So you're saying, what did I know? Cache, whatever, no cache. What you're saying? Page kernel, no cache page. Did I somehow? Or do we have? You're saying that or page kernel, no cache? Yeah, maybe I should start to use a full freaking IDE with auto-completion and stuff. Okay, that was not a working combination. No, you anyway said something slightly different. You said underscore page kernel. Ah, no cache. Yeah. What do I even... Maybe we should simply grep for no cache. Okay, that is only my... what other... Right combined temp... Page kernel, rock chip... Right combine... I mean, we could see if... No cache. Maybe that is a ARM thing. Nah, may or may not work. Okay, there's a bunch of bitmap and not alloc pages. Ah, wait. This. Yeah, so that is a thing of. Maybe that even has a chance to. So we have quite some comments. Probably should go through them quickly. Heard about the Ryzen 7000 series burning themselves dead. Yes, I heard about this just today. Share, like, and subscribe. I have a freaking also not this one, I believe. This was my old one. Just today I ordered this probably 6 weeks ago. I finally got this. Now I freaking live on this channel freaking also wait. Are this still fails? Passing argument. Oh, this is others. What, did I not fix this? Setting off. So this is probably the old tree. Let's i915 something like that. I believe this is just because we probably debugged that before. Anyway, so I finally got this, and I basically have so world's fastest non-power of 2 96 gigs of memory. I previously was running since the launch for 6 months. That one, that's not a paid advertisement. I paid the full price for this, kids, right? More overkill build, previous moment channel. Because obviously 64 gigabyte is not enough for this work, right? You build 30 architectures, you need freaking memory. Ironically, I could plug them all in and have 160 freaking gigabyte of memory, but then of course it wouldn't overclock. So I overclocked both. They are both rated 5600 mega transfers. Also they print in megahertz, which is of course slightly incorrect. I could overclock them both. Long story is that of course the larger module, I expected them to be similar, but to no surprise the larger 1 power of 2 module is not clocking as fast. It would also not, like if I let the BIOS auto overclock that XMP stuff for 6000 mega transfers, the BIOS would not be able to do that. I dialed in manual stuff, like I manually guided that a little bit, and then I could run this on my board, Gigabyte Aorus Masters X670E, also not a paid advertisement, also brought the shit myself, overpriced garbage. And so yeah, 6000 mega transfers of a little bit smaller, so having more memory, because it's so much larger, more memory modules and stuff, more load on the CPU bus, memory bus and stuff, less subtimings, significantly less. So this actually makes my building my Linux kernel 4 freaking seconds or 1.667% slower. I might be able to squeeze a little bit more out, but this is already pretty maxed out. And I noticed, so with this burning stuff, I noticed that, I didn't notice that before because I usually don't look at all those details, but then I noticed that this high XMP and 6000 mega transfers actually increases at BIOS is usually the I/O die voltage. They have their CPU V-core and I/O V-core I/O, and yeah, and also I noticed with that I need to raise it a little bit, right? Especially for this monstrous 96 gigabyte kit, I need to, or I can't undervolt it, and like indeed I can confirm you need a little bit higher, or at least standard normal, not undervolted, or a little bit higher I/O voltage for this memory overclock. And so yeah, you don't want, like if you don't need this beyond, because you're not building Rust, LVM, Firefox and stuff, and that in parallel 430 architecture combination, you probably don't want that much memory. This is also the reason why I rather put this into our hexacode stock for builds and testing and servers and workstations and stuff. Because if I plug this all in, yes, I would have 160 freaking gigabyte more than I ever had in any overkill workstation build, but only with 3000 whatever mega transfers, right? So obviously I don't want to make my Linux kernel builds 20 seconds or whatever and 10+% or so slower. So yeah, but if you would have loads, like if you run 20 VMs with 20 QEMU instances and stuff, or with some 16 gigs of memory or so, then of course you would need this memory. Then of course there are some scenarios where you need that much memory, and then it doesn't matter if you have 3200, 400, 600 whatever, or 6000 mega transfers. Anyway, so yeah, but I didn't burn any. I only have one AM5 board and CPU, and thankfully mine. I mean, this stuff runs hot, right? My stuff runs hot. Also, I freaking undervolted. I also have. You want to share, like, subscribe? I will probably make a dedicated video also about my. I in the meantime seriously undervolt my Ryzen for significantly improved boosting, but more detailed sometime soon. But yeah, it's crazy stuff. But I guess it's very, very, very like 0.00 whatever percent. I also wonder, like, is this substrate bubbles so much, whether there's some phase change of the solar or stuff, of some steam or something of that sort, because otherwise I've had hard to imagine with like hundreds of degrees Celsius that the substrate bubbles like this. So I wonder if like this Der Bauer has seen this solder heat spread solder there liquefying on one of its viewers, Ryzen, something of that sort. But yeah, but anyway, but previous video I burned with bloody low quality BIOS updates. I burned a year ago a memory channel of my Ryzen 5950X, which thankfully, like, didn't even I mean, I XMP profiled that, but I didn't overvolt and stuff and overclocked it, only PBO and so on. And AMD thankfully RM8 this memory channel dead, like first or second memory channel A or B was then dead. Previous video. So the RMA process, I made the video, was a little bit shitty and questionable, but at the end I got it without further questions asked. Question there, are we still having problems with AMD GPU screen staying black after sleep mode? That is a good question. I didn't notice that recently, so maybe not. But now that you say this, I actually didn't quite follow up on that. I have the feeling this disappeared. It didn't, I think currently at least, it disappeared for some reason. That is a good question. I didn't even thought about this. But I noticed that with my overvolting, even with this one, I had to overvolt this memory quite a bit for the 6000 mega transfers. It's rated 5600, so 400 mega transfers overclock. And I noticed my Ryzen didn't reset anymore, right? If you shut down -R, reboot, even in the BIOS, it would hang on reset and it wouldn't reset. And I noticed this is when I had this for weeks and I noticed what crappy BIOS quality is that the bloody motherboard, the main logic board doesn't reset reliable. And I just yesterday found by pure chance and with this overvolting, and that is apparently if you're, because I had my IO die undervolted, and by pure chance and luck I found this out. So I thought, what bloody BIOS software bug is it? But it turns out not enough. Like if you, in my case, significantly XMP overclocked memory and not having enough IO. I mean, this was super stable except reset. What crazy stuff it is that I can boot Linux, I can epic thread rip through all of the Linux kernel Firefox, but I can't reboot. Crazy stuff. But yeah, so just a hint for some people potentially. You would had the same issue running Mesa from Git for a few months now, paired with Xen kernel, no issues and smooth scaling. Happy to hear that. Yeah, good question. So yeah, welcome everyone. Hope you enjoyed this, learned something. We are through as usual. I answer question probably too long. Recommendation for safety. So yeah, I'm currently running, which IP does it have? Probably, yeah. No, that's probably fine. Yeah, so I'm running that currently with 1.3 something volts, I believe, for this massive 96 gigabit non-power of 2 memory kit. 1.305 or so. Fingers, thumbs crossed. So yeah, if it, but I'm also not overclocking this. I undervolt the CCXs actually significantly. How much I will tell you on a more main channel soon. So yeah, this still doesn't build. More, or we talk too much as per usual. What have I done there? Is this again? Did I not save that? What have I freaking initialization? Or is it? I thought we just fixed that. Or did I struct? But argument is. Wait, did I? What have I done now? This just was just the other way around. What have I freaking done there? Assigned VM, or is it? Is that in kernel and nobody checked? Because we have two. Don't tell me that is in. Did I not modify all of them? Oh wait, we have actually two of those. Why did I not find that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's make this also 8 shorter. That is 78 or no, 77. We also, by the way, want to theoretically put our name more in here. We maintain this for quite a while already, and VM. So yeah, that would be set VMA. Nothing like rebasing. You get quite some versus your YouTube subscription money today. Actually, other people pay $100 an hour for kernel stuff. Did I modify the other? So I would say some serious share, like, subscribe, YouTube membership and so on is in order for all these porting efforts. And then we had here, what was it, MNT user namespace. So that is, you know, the same stuff. We had here ID map. And we renamed this here ID map. And then later at the couch at home, I will SED the style to be not this Lisp style of too many parentheses. So we had here ID map struct MNT ID map. User namespace. Yeah, nothing like, the only constant is change, and it's probably all, I hope. So then yeah, let's try that again. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. I hope not more stuff breaks. And then we also actually need to freaking test this on a real PS3, because nothing like only constants change and regressions and stuff breaking on real hardware. That's it for this video. Have a good day and night. I have to rush home. See you next time. And stay hydrated. Jonas question, what do you recommend learning about this? Yes, some kernel. I mean, the cheapskate stuff is just do it. Do what you want to look in, are interested. If you're interested in 3D, do 3D, maybe Virt.io, whatever. Or I love vintage and retro. Vintage and retro is also so much easier, although they just deleted that upstream because lazy. Otherwise, of course, kernel books, right? O'Reilly, I guess they're pronounced, probably should Google that. Linux kernel driver development stuff. If you're in books like cheapskate, just do it. If you're into printed books and or ebooks and want to support some book authors, kernel programming 101 and stuff for dummies. But yeah, that's it. See you next time.